while ago, I originally stopped doing rant videos because of YouTube's algorithm regarding rants and call-outs towards people. Granted, some people would rather harass other people using death threats and mindlessly insulting others, but some rants were false flag despite them being brutally honest without trying to bully or harass them. That and I was running out of things to rant on. After further thinking, a little, or more specifically infamous kind of thing got me the idea to put me back into the ranting sphere, and since I became more passionate when being honest, instead of taking things out with proportion, I felt it's high time I rant about something that plagued DeviantArt for years, that being filling memes. For context, a filling meme, or more specifically your generic filling meme, is just two images spliced together. All you do is insert a screenshot or an image of a thing or show you hate, and insert a reaction from a show you like, or vice versa. And here you go, the most comedic meme of all time. Congratulations, you're totally a comedy genius. Look, memes can be funny if you, actually bother to try putting more effort or hell humour into your memes. Most of my friends, mostly on Discord, find and make memes that are actually funny, because they actually tried making it more humorous. Those filling memes are not memes. It's just two pictures slapped together in one image. No spark of funnies, no punchline, just poorly made reactions. The saddest part is that it's one of the most common types of art on DeviantArt, mostly on shows like The Loud House, a rather common thing they like to spew out on the majority of the fanbase. You'd think they'd do these on other sites that aren't just dedicated to art, like Imager, Twitter and other sites, and just be self-aware that this is a sloppy kind of meme, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Most of these unoriginal funnies are poorly scaled and imported. Some are legit stretched to fit the picture. Those pictures are mostly made in MS Paint. I'm not going to go around and say that MS Paint is the worst software ever. While MS Paint is the most basic kind of art software you can think of, especially since it's not as advanced as Adobe Photoshop, Paint Toolsite, or even open source softwares like GIMP, Paint.net and Critter, MS Paint isn't a bad software if you can actually do it right. Automatic Critic is a prime example of this. It's cartoony, but it shows you can actually make something that isn't eye torture. There's an MS Paint challenge that happened on Twitter a while ago, which I took part in, showcasing some of the finest talents you can do in MS Paint. Something that the filling memes on DA failed to deliver. These range from taking cartoons and episodes out of proportion, make your own random meme thing here, reactions to shows getting cancelled, reacting to bad things or people they hate, singing using still images, the works. Some even call these art. Yet when I think of art, I think of modern art, filled with abstract shapes, surrealism, artistry that has a meaning behind it, and actual great art from drawing artists, cartoonists, graphic designers, visual effects artists, and the likes, that looks like they took the time to make actual art, putting their heart and soul, blood, sweat and tears into their work. But no, apparently those failed attempts at being witty are considered to be artistic, according to them. Newsflash, your memes are not art. This isn't artistry. What makes you an artist is that you have the practice and patience to draw and create art. All this is just a bunch of images poorly stretched and imported to an art program you used. Hell, DeviantArt is meant for people who strive to make art for the people to view and critique. Those aren't even classified as art because of that reason, and it fails in delivering that kind of artistry, but seems like spam material if I'm being honest. Look at artists like Master Rainbow, Lyric Official, Rikowski, Bracket Neutron, and other people. They make actual art because it's their passion and their hobby to make art. There's people outside the DA that also make great art, not just on the internet but from other pieces of media. Again, there's nothing wrong with being a memer, unless if you go too far with your sense of humour. I would like to make memes sometime, but not in the filling meme type. The Loud House fanbase is unfortunately one of those main defenders of these memes. Not only that, but on other shows like Thomas and My Little Pony to name a few. There are a bunch of filling memes I've found to point out or have quips for, so you're in for a ride as we go into the most wittiest of witty banter these memes had to offer. I've been hearing about the cancellation of the spin-off to The Loud House, the Casa Grandes, and some people didn't take it too well. I wonder who made this funny bit. Well then, the funny thing is, no pun intended, I first heard of Funny Time 77 when I was watching commentary videos out of Recolor Sprite artists, which is back in 2011, and now he became a Loudy, as he implies. Admittedly, the Loud House is a harmless show, and I do still like it, only not that much due to its gross fandom, and Season 5 not being as loud as it once has in my opinion. It's no surprise the Loud House filling memers contributed to the reactions of the show's cancellation. ThePackagedReviewer did a pretty decent rant on him when he was a Bracket Neutron wannabe, until Bracket critiqued him, which after his hiatus made his rants change a lot, and making his rants more original and humorous. Let's hear his input on the cancellation. This is real news, and this is not fake. The creator confirmed that the show of the Casa Grandes is cancelled. We're going to miss Ronnie Ann forever. Who is Lincoln going to love now? What is Ronnie gonna do now? Damn you, Patrick! SpongeBob needs to end so badly, along with his spin. Okay, being disappointed by a show's cancellation is one thing. It's normal to be disappointed by a show's cancellation, but blaming another Nickelodeon show over the show's end is fucking petty to say the very least. That's like me blaming Edge Magazine over Games Master Magazine's final issue, despite their reasons for it. Here's a little thing that is a reminder for you. Nothing lasts forever. That includes the Casa Grandes, or other shows such as Cat Scratch, Cat Dog, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, and other cartoons I really like. The same going for other pieces of media. Some of my favourite shows, magazines, cartoons and channels may be gone, but you don't see me complain about it. You can still enjoy the show despite it being cancelled. Animaniacs ended back in 1998 with the Wacko's Wish movie in 1999, and I was sad, but I actually still enjoy the show to this day. Then again, it has been brought back in 2020 with a reboot on Hulu. It's not that hard to deal with the show being ended in a mature fashion. This is M. Jenny levels of singing right there. Except it's not drawn, but with still images. The Moon Goats are singing The Nudist and Mr. Pendleton to the public and their new fans. Luna Loud and her band were inspired by the Lavender Fudge experience as they watched it years ago on TV. I can imagine the Moon Goats singing songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit, School's Out and Firestarter, or hell, even Born Slippy. Imagine the lyrics being typed into wherever the screencap episode is placed. The Drake meme has been done to death to the point where humor is thrown out the window the more it gets used. I'm not surprised he did that, considering he made a petition to keep the Louds at the same age and made a deviation about it. I would give out some pointers to that, but Packaged and Maniac did it justice and pretty much said it better than I could. That and I've been repeating myself as to what they said. Changes happen over the years as the show goes on. The Loud kids aging up isn't going to destroy the show in any way, shape or form, and it's not that big of a deal. They're grown up. I can think of a sad thing that I can put into the meme. I know. There. Sad. Bubsy has been given so much hatred, though some provide reasons why they dislike the games. The worst offender being Bubsy 3D, while the flawed game has been overhated. Also, since when did Lincoln and Star met each other? Did Link and Loud travel into the Star versus the Forces of Evil world and get to know each other? Pretty much what you expect in the weird side of the cartoon community. Most notably in the Pooh's Adventures series. God knows I don't want these kinds of flashbacks where they insert random characters willy-nilly. Don't get me started on Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue. Apparently, Lincoln didn't like his live-action self despite the movie also revolves around the same kids in the movie. What's next? Since the Lincoln Loud pick was an overnight hit, I decided to make another one with him like in the Loud House movie over the terrible live-action Christmas special. Lincoln Loud's the same, only in live-action. It sounds nonsensical for a character to hate on a live-action version of himself or herself, unless if it's out of character. What song I can put on this meme? Got it. No, that isn't right. No, that's not right either.
Hello, me. Meet the real me.
Looking at the comment section of this deviation, someone who I'll refer to as Stamy called Sir Josh out for ripping off his meme. Some filling memers actually rip off other memes. I'm not really surprised by this. This led me to his page, and I saw this. Please don't remind me of the Thomas and Twilight ship. It's terrible. A Five Nights at Freddy's character hates on a very hated Loud character. Riveting. Oh boy, Mangle told me about this Loud House episode called No Such Luck. Let's just what that mumble jumbo is about. After watching No Such Luck, what the hell kind of episode is that? That's it. I'm going to Lynn's house and kicking her ass. Lynn Loud, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh shit, I'm so screwed. I'm fucked up.
Animatronics can watch cartoon episodes and go to a character's house to plot their revenge on Lynn. Now I've heard everything. I will have to admit that No Such Luck is actually one of my personal least favourite episodes. But you're not making any better when treating Lynn Jr. as the bane of your existence. I know opinions exist, but you're taking this a tad too far when it comes to one character. No Such Luck is a dead horse. Yeah, then why make this meme and bring it up in the first place? I doubt the Loud House will end it this year, as it may still be going. Only Nick and the people behind the Loud House know when it'll end. You tried with your prediction though. Also link a Loud recolor. If this went on to be a real epic battle between two different characters, then count me in. If only there was a mutant fight between them. This is also a Fonz and the Gumball thing apparently. Weird. Another one of these memes. Goddamn, where to put? Oh yeah. Yeah, this will be witty. Everyone and their mother has thrashed the game for years. That they bring almost nothing new to the table. Slayer-kun managed to bring something new to the table when he reviewed that game. And that's pretty much all I could find. But I've saved the best one for last. Drumroll please. What's the final meme to conclude this batch of memes? Well folks, feast your eyes on this masterpiece.
Look at this guy's face! Look at this guy's face!
Not going to lie, but this is actually funny. Look at the way Lincoln Loud's face is placed with his Polytron mask. This is a fucking masterpiece of a meme. This is pure artistry in gold. This piece of art shall be shown in modern art galleries. Stop the press, guys. Put it in the galleries. In all seriousness, this is poorly drawn and misplaced. I can't even fathom how godly this meme is. This is probably the best poorly made meme I've seen, unironically enough. Even on the original A Savvy Lincoln drawing that's on the Loud House, the mask is actually drawn well. If those memes are apparently hilarious, I can do that shit too. Here's my take on the best memes known to man. Am I going to win the Best Comedian Award now? I think I went overboard with my sarcasm. Some filling memers tend to be infamous for their actions and deviations. No, the paid accounts don't count because they're troll accounts that people feed. Bartoons don't count either because, well, his hatred for Japan because of anime is not only xenophobic but petty. Their constant hatred for him is excessive and pretty toxic, to the point where some people wish him to be dead. He's just as much of a dead topic as Matruka11, who is also infamous for his lusting over underage characters. One example of an infamous user I can think of that is obvious is Darkness Awakens 13. The darkness has surely awakened of his kidnapping. No kidding. He makes a lot of memes centered around kidnapping people and characters. And the worst part, that's his fetish. Not to mention his nappy fetish. Alright, look. If you have a fetish for something, as long as it's private and it's not scat and uncomfortable stuff, and God forbid, pedophilia, I'm not going to judge. I'm not a king shamer when it's a harmless fetish that should be kept private. Not only that, but he has a big thing for kidnapping children. Yes, children. This is not something that should be classified as a fetish at all. It is something that happened in real life, and child kidnapping and trafficking is wrong in all counts. Go figure out what is wrong with you to make a fetish out of this. It's not normal. The squares on his memes are not even straight in terms of rows and columns, and they look a tad bit scattered. If anything, What could have made the layout more straight was copy-paste the squares and work out where it's placed more straight. Paint.net, GIMP, or even Inkscape have guides to help straighten the rows and columns. You said you're totally against children being kidnapped, yet your gallery says otherwise, since you make a hell of a lot of kidnapping memes towards children, not to mention adults and teenagers, despite them created as a plotline. How is that even normal? Kidnapping and child trafficking is no joke. I've seen your countdown to the controversy meme that involves child kidnappings you like, and your comment saying that you've learned your lesson whilst making the same memes after that shows you've made the same old song and dance, and not in a good way. Again, this is not something that should be fetishized. It's unacceptable. How is that... Pardon me. Wow, that is one hell of a ride. God damn. In closing, Darkness should lay off the kidnapping memes and actually try to make art, since not only those memes are unfunny, but also rather controversial and shocking, considering those kidnappings are around children also. If he decides to watch this video, take this advice with a pinch of salt. Actually stop with the kidnapping memes. Keep your fetishes to yourself. Actually take the advice from people who commented on your deviations, or from videos like the ones packaged and the Litterbox Critic, also known as Kathy or Generica Kitty, or Thunder, made on you. And if you are changing content on DA, actually change it. It's not that hard to grasp the concept. If you still make these memes and break your promise, then you pretty much brought this on yourself, dude. That's all I have to say about Darkness. All in all, those filling memes tried to be funny and entertaining to make people laugh, but ended up being poorly executed, as they're just poorly utilised and stretched, very entitled to their opinions, overreactive and sometimes controversial. If you like filling memes, as long as you don't attack people for disliking them, and you're self-aware about it, I'm okay with that. It's actually sad how these failed memes get so popular on DA, and they haven't been dealt with by the DA staff yet. All this is just blatant spam that affected the DA servers. If you want to make your memes less pandering and more funny, you gotta have class. You gotta have actual wittiness, a punchline, stuff that makes it more entertaining when it comes to making an actual meme. As the slogan for the promo for BBC Radio 1 Extra's BBC Talent says,
"If you've got a spark of talent, don't let it go out."
Granted, those memes are more shitpost material, but the filling memes had no effort or talent whatsoever. Something that artists on DA or even memers on the internet actually bothered to practice, and most of the time they succeeded in that regard. If I were to make these memes myself, I would rather make it more humorous and self-aware, and even if I were to make these, I'd rather post it on somewhere other than DA. I mostly do drawings, graphic design and artwork, which is what DeviantArt is meant for. Anyways, it feels good to be back into making rants, but those will be less aggressive and more honest, unless if it's something serious. I became more open and honest about things I rant on, and I tried to be as honest as I could without stirring up drama. Anyways, that's all for this comeback rant. I'll catch you guys and gals later.